Hello friends, and welcome to another video. As you probably know, my name is David Clay, and I'm going to be interpreting for you today saying 22 from the Gospel of Thomas. This is absolutely, without a doubt, one of the main sayings. Well, there's a lot of main sayings in the Gospel of Thomas, but this is certainly one of the topmost, because it has a concurrent theme. It emphasizes a concurrent theme that runs through the Gospel of Thomas. And it's a theme of the major message. There's three of them that Thomas wants you to understand, if indeed Thomas did write it. Whoever wrote it was brilliant. That's just absolutely it. I have been, since I've discovered it, and since I've had the revelations that I've had about it revealed to me in dreams. There's nothing wrong with having revelations in dreams, I don't think. Anyway, I've had dreams, and that's where my revelations come from. And they've been right. They've been right because they have the sound of sense. That's how you know, and I tell you that again and again through these videos. That's how you know whether or not an interpretation is correct. Does it have the sound of sense? Does it repeat something that was repeated earlier, a theme, have a thematic whole? Because there is a silver thread, a golden thread, a silver thread too, that runs through the Gospel of Thomas. This is quintessential Thomas right here in saying 22. So let's get right into it. Now, I also want to mention this beforehand. Now, when our website goes up, it's not up yet, but it'll be up sometime probably in July. So it takes a lot of work to get the website up, so a lot of information there, so be patient. But when we have it up, we're going to have a special video on there where it tells you how to practice what I explained to you today in the explanation of saying 22 and the meaning of saying 22. So let's get right into it, all right? All right. I'm going to, if you have a copy of the Gospel of Thomas, you can read along with me, but I'm going to read it for you. Jesus saw some babies nursing. He said to his disciples, "These nursing babies are like those who enter the Father's kingdom." The word Father is implied there. I'm going to keep these in order as they go, so I'll go back through them again. They said to him, "Then shall we enter the Father's kingdom as babies?" That's what the disciples replied back to him. Jesus said to them, "When you make the two into one, and when you make the inner like the outer, and the outer like the inner, and the upper like the lower, and when you make male and female into a single one, so that the male will not be male, nor the female be female, when you make eyes in place of an eye, a hand in place of a hand, a foot in place of a foot, an image in place of an image, then you will enter the kingdom." Well, that's a lot of information there. I mean, this is just packed full of information. This is an incredible thing, this saying is. Let's go back and I'll explain it to you exactly, because that's a lot of information. I'm sure you pondered over it before if you've read the Gospel of Thomas before, so let's go over it. Now, when Jesus saw the babies nursing, he simply made the statement, and he said to his disciples, "These are like those who enter the kingdom of heaven." Now, he did not mean that you enter the kingdom of heaven as a baby, or he didn't mean necessarily that you enter the kingdom of heaven in a innocent state. That's not necessarily exactly what he meant there. You have entered the kingdom in a perceptive state, like a baby's perception. When the baby comes into this world, it has no bearings on this world. It has no judgment of space and distance, up and down. Polarity means absolutely nothing to him. Now remember this idea of polarity, up and down, the lower, the inner, the outer, good and evil, male and female. All of these things are polarized. If you look around our universe, everything seems to be in a state of polarity. There seems to be almost an opposite for everything. I can't think of a thing that doesn't have an essential opposite. And that's the world we live in. That's what we call reality. But that is not reality. We're not seeing reality as it really should be seen. And this is what all mystics have been telling us. This is what the Bhagavad Gita, the Hindu script, everything all the way through the Vedas. This is a theme through the Vedas too. Overcoming a polarity is one of the most important things. But anyway, that explains the baby's attitude to it. And they said to him, they misunderstood immediately, they said to him, then shall we enter the kingdom of heaven as babies? See, a lot of times even the apostles themselves did not quite get what Jesus was saying, I think. At least that seems to be the reading in all of these scriptures that I have ever read, even the three synoptic gospels and the book of John. It's the same way. Sometimes we get very confused. But evidently, if Thomas did write this, it wasn't someone else that was a mystic even higher than Thomas. Because whoever wrote it was brilliant. If Thomas didn't write it, then he did have an enlightenment later on. It's all about not necessarily being good or bad. Good or bad, you've got to understand the terms that only apply in this space-time continuum, in this reality that we live in the spirit world. When you get to the spirit world, when you die and go to the spirit world, there is no good. There is no bad. There's no up. There's no down. There's only absolute perfection. Whatever that means. Absolute perfection. Nothing changes. Everything changes in this world. You can't count on anything. What's here today is gone tomorrow. Even the mountains waste into the sea eventually. Even the sea changes back into the mountain eventually. Eventually the whole planet's gone. The sun's gone. Boom, it's all gone. There's another saying later on that goes into that explanation even in the Gospel of Thomas. That's an exciting one too. But you have to learn to rise in consciousness. That's the whole secret. That is the ultimate tool. And we're going to have a video on that on our website too, so be sure to check back with that and check it out. Because it's so important that you learn to rise in consciousness. It affects your whole life. It affects your happiness. It affects everything about you. Everything about you. Everything. Everything. I can't emphasize that enough. Raise your consciousness. And by watching these videos, you will do just that. You will raise your consciousness. Because that's one of the effects of studying the Gospel of Thomas, or being even exposed to the Gospel of Thomas. I don't call it studying because you don't have to study it. You just have to be exposed to it, and your consciousness raises automatically. Anyway, let's go into a little bit more here. When you make the two into one, again, when you resolve this polarization, when you overcome polarity, when you no longer see. Now, this doesn't mean you don't function in the world, you don't eat, you don't enjoy everything that you normally enjoy, that human beings would enjoy. That doesn't mean that at all. It just means that you are also aware and enlightened, and you can enter a state where you don't see things as good, bad, as up, down, male, female. You dissolve everything into the one. And when you reach that state, as it says at the end of this one, you enter the kingdom of heaven. I wish I could jump through the screen and shake you and make you realize how important this is. Now, but that's the way I feel, and that's the way it is. So until the next video, if you have any questions, be sure to email me or write in the comments or something. I'll see you in the next video. Okay? Have a great